Welcome. We're about to dive into the most fascinating and complex machine on the entire planet, your mind. Yep, we're exploring the basics of psychology, the science that tries to figure out every single one of our thoughts and actions. Let's get right into it.
Really stop and think about it for a second. What made you decide to watch this? Why do you absolutely love coffee but can't stand tea? Or why do some things just make you incredibly happy while other things, well, they drive you up the wall? These are the kinds of questions psychology tackles every single day.
So, to get some answers, here's the game plan for our little tour. First, we'll get a field guide to what psychology actually is. Then, we're going to eavesdrop on that conversation happening inside your head. After that, we'll take a peek under the hood at the mind's machinery. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how all of this stuff actually applies to your real life.
Okay, so first things first. When we use the word psychology, what are we even talking about? It's a word that gets thrown around all the time, but what it really means is pretty specific and super important.
Okay, so at its very core, psychology is the scientific study, and that word scientific is so important here, of two main things. Our behavior, which is basically everything we do on the outside, and our mental processes, which is all the stuff happening on the inside. The thinking, the feeling, the remembering. Basically, it's the science of you.
And psychology isn't just one single thing. It's got two major sides to it. On one hand, you've got pure psychology. That's all about coming up with the big ideas and the theories. And on the other hand, there's applied psychology, which takes all those cool theories and actually uses them to solve real-world problems in places like schools, business, you name it.
All right, let's get a little more personal. Inside your mind right now, there's a constant conversation going on. It's like a debate between different parts of your personality. So the real question is, who are these speakers and who's usually winning the argument?
First up in this debate, we have the id. This is the totally impulsive, instinct-driven part of you. It's been there since the moment you were born, and it lives by one simple rule, the pleasure principle. If it feels good, do it. It wants what it wants, and it wants it right now. Just think of it as that little toddler inside you that's always screaming for one more cookie.
Now, the one pushing back against the id, that's the superego. This is your internal moral compass, your conscience. It's the voice of your parents, your teachers, society, all whispering in your ear about what's right and what's wrong. It's the part that makes you feel guilty and always pushes you to be the good person. Often telling the id, nope, absolutely not.
So, who breaks the tie between the impulsive kid and the super strict judge? Well, that's where the ego comes in. The ego is the realist, the great negotiator. It runs on the reality principle, and its whole job is to try and satisfy what the id wants, but in a way that the superego and, the real world will actually accept. It's the adult in the room.
And this slide just illustrates it perfectly. Your id, it's like that little devil on your shoulder, and it's screaming, "I want that chocolate bar." Then your superego, the little angel, fires right back with, hello, you're on a diet. And then in steps your ego, the negotiator, saying, okay, everybody calm down. How about we just have one small piece? Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, so now that we've met the key players inside our heads, let's pop the hood and see what kind of machinery they're working with. How exactly does your brain grab onto information, store it away, and then pull it back out when you need it?
You see, memory isn't just one thing. It's really a three-step process. First, you've got to actually get the information into your brain. That's registration. Then your brain has to hold on to it for a while, which we call retention. And finally, when you need that info, you have to be able to pull it back out. That's recall. If any one of those steps breaks down, well, your memory fails.
So what about learning in the first place? How does the information get in there? Well, psychologists have figured out a few key ways we do it. There's classical conditioning. That's when we learn by associating two things together. Think of Pavlov's dogs drooling at the sound of a bell. Then there's operant conditioning, which is basically learning from rewards and punishments. Like when a kid gets a sticker for cleaning their room. And then there's observational learning, which is exactly what it sounds like. We just learn by watching other people do stuff.
All right, we've talked about a lot of theories and processes and big ideas, but what's the point? Why should you even care about your id or how you learn things? This last part, this is all about bringing it back home.
Because what's really amazing is just how practical all this stuff is. Understanding these concepts can help you in three massive ways. One, it helps you understand yourself, your own motivations, your feelings.
2, it helps you understand other people, which helps you build way better relationships. And 3, and this is a big one, it helps you adjust and adapt to all the challenges life throws at you.
And ultimately, all of this plays into our mental health. But let's be really clear here. Mental health is not just about the absence of mental illness. It's a positive thing. It's defined as a state of balance between you and the world around you, a kind of harmony between yourself and with others. It's a goal that psychology can actually help us all work toward.
So as we finish up this whirlwind tour of your mind, I'm going to leave you with one last question to chew on. Right now, in this exact moment, who's winning that debate inside your head? Is it the impulsive id, the moral superego, or that practical, mediating ego? The answer might just tell you a whole lot about yourself.